Set up.
Right. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Dart and Lisa Show.
so, well, if you missed us last week, we missed you.
Yes,
And
that's all on us.
yes, all on us. We had put in 3 hard days of work, so we were in recovery mode.
It was so bad. Someone texted me, Dart, and said, Lisa, are you alive? Are you alive? Like, did you die?
Yeah, you're not posting anything.
You're not.
You know, hey, we
Sorry.
appreciate being missed.
Yes.
Yes.
But that kind of brings us to our point tonight is about like what we want to talk about. First, let's start with hi McKenna. McKenna's on here. We love you, McKenna. You're amazing.
Appreciate you keeping the wheels turning in the
Yes.
background.
And McKenna would also get on to me because her thing would be consistent with posting. And so McKenna, post your website on there so people can reach out to you because you do amazing work and you're working on some amazing websites for people and everyone just loves you. Right?
Yes.
But Dart and I do want to say that we believe that life is made up of health and wealth and relationships, right, Dart?
Absolutely. And we also believe that financial planning should be fun. And so if it's not fun, then we're out of here. So
but that's why we've been so busy, Dart, because it should be fun for everyone else. And sometimes it puts a lot of work on our end, but
right.
We've got a great system going.
Yes, we do.
We do. But it is
we got a great team at Carlton Wealth. Shout out to Adam McKnight for just doing an awesome job getting things automated for us. And so it makes it great for the clients. It makes it great for us. And it's just like, we just can't say enough. It's just with what's going on.
We're blessed.
So we're
especially for all that
blessed.
Little tedious stuff that's hard. That gets really hard for me, that in-depth techie stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
But so I had lunch with a gal the other day and she was just transitioning, and she's not so much in transitioning the type of work that she does, but she was transitioning from going from a W-2 employee to a 1099 employee.
Right.
And so we just thought, just talking in general, we left the conversation. She's like, oh, you're a wealth of knowledge. And, and Dirt and I thought, oh, this is a great subject to talk about. So, and hi, Gail. Gail's on there too. But hey, if you're self-employed or thinking about being self-employed, right? I think this is a good subject to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been self-employed since 1989, and no one has had this talk with me.
Wait, Dort, that's like when I graduated high school.
Oh, we don't have to share that.
We don't have to share that.
So, but and it's like every tax preparer that I've gone to since then. Their whole goal was how to not, for me not to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And what that does is that you're doing things, I'll tell you some train wrecks because I had retail businesses when I first started out in business. And so, I lived on very little and was reinvesting back into my business. Gross sales were great. And I'm buying inventory. And then all of a sudden I owe $15,000-$20,000 in taxes. And I'm like looking at my savings account and it's not there.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm sure some of you have had that as well.
Yeah. It's in the inventory in the store. And so it's like, how did this happen? And no one ever came with me with a solution. So it's just kind of one scenario. Or so people move into sales and they're 1099, or people now it's like, they are offered an early retirement or something, and then they turn around and they're contracted back, at 1099.
Or they just start their own business on the side.
And they start their own business. And so before you start your own business, you kind of need to do this little exercise that we're going to give you. And it's very simple, So if you need to grab a piece of paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and we'll give you some really easy numbers.
We're not going to cover everything tonight because that would take forever. We're just doing like a little 10 or 15 minute segment.
Yeah. So. And then and Lisa's got some cool little stuff that we can, some little apps and things that'll make life easier, and the tracking and that type of thing. So you want to jump into that now?
Oh, sure.
All right.
You know, one of my favorite tools being self-employed, Dara, is honestly this app on your phone. It's called Self-Employed. It's by QuickBooks. And a lot of people are like, oh, QuickBooks, they get confused. It's absolutely wonderful. But what I love the most about it is because, you know, we do have an office, but rarely are we at the office. A lot of times people want us to come meet them or meet them where they are or come
Zoom.
to their home or they want to Zoom. But that self-employed app will automatically keep track of my miles. And I think it's great. So I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is drive somewhere. And when I get there to my destination, it'll say, your trip could be worth $16.19. You know? So I just swipe if it's either swipe right or left. That could be a really good joke.
What does Tinder for mileage?
Yeah, right. Tinder for mileage. So you just say if it's business or personal. So it's keeping track of your mileage for you, which is a huge write-off when it comes to tax time. Absolutely. And I love that. And one of the things that it does, it keeps track of my transactions. So, and everyone who sees me out, they know this about me. Every time the waitress comes or waiter comes and brings the bill, I'm like, hold on, time out. I go ahead and I snap a picture of my receipt right there inside of my app. I just say who I pay, how much it is, what it's for, and there's a picture. And so that way, you know, do y'all ever just keep receipts and like you shove them in your pocket or in your purse? Okay, except for Dart. Like Dart's really good about keeping up with that. I'm not, because they'll go in my purse, and if I don't have time, as soon as I get as soon as I get home and if I start doing things, you know, I'm a doer.
Well, you walk in the door talking on the phone, and so
yes. But and then you're like, oh, and then the receipt gets yucky and crumbly, and
three days later it starts disintegrating.
It does start to disintegrate. Yeah, and so you know, and we keep track of everything on there. So you just snap a picture right there while you're at the table or while I'm at the store. Yes, it's amazing. And so at the end, so when you're ready to do your taxes, it's already compiled for you, and you don't have to go back through receipts and envelopes. And I've heard some really horrific stories. So yes, get the Self-Employed app on your phone for one. Yes. Okay, Dart, let's talk about the savings side of it. That's a really cool little idea.
So let's talk about the why, because what we see is a lot of business owners have reinvested back into their business. They may or may not have something sellable. Actually, I mean, it's more times than not, the business is based on you. And so when you get ready to retire, maybe your business isn't worth near as much as you hoped it would have been, or you thought it would have been. And you actually take, by the time that you sell your business and pay the taxes on the sale of it, and then you look at it and it's like, oh, wow, that's less than what I made in 1 or 2 years. So then you're like, then you decide not to sell it or whatever.
Right. But we want to encourage you, start a business.
That's right.
If you're not, start a business. We're not doing negative things.
No, it's not.
Being mindfully prepared.
Reality is not negative.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
So, but it's giving you why that you want to consider, because you can be, if you're 40 and you're saying, okay, I'm not going to retire till I'm 65 or 70. And so, oh, wow, making little steps today will be huge steps in the end. Yes. And also from a standpoint of looking at income today, in yesteryears, in another time, as you had assets, you were a good risk. Today, if you don't have income, you're not a good risk. You can have a lot of assets, but if you can't show a way to pay it back, then you're not a good risk.
Right. Like when it comes to a mortgage, or having
upgrading your car or whatever you need to do.
Yes.
And then the last point is that there is a huge impact on Social Security. And I know everybody says, oh, it's not going to be, well, they're going to find a way, and one way or the other. So it is important, because that you get back so much by paying into your Social Security.
Yes.
We've seen it over and over with the people who come into retirement, and all of them said, I didn't think it would be here, but they worked a W-2 job, making 175,000, and their Social Security is 40 something thousand, and so it's just really nice. And so That's all these reasons. Now, so because when I tell you this is a way to help you to save and set yourself up
Yes.
for success.
Yes.
So the first
From the
thing
beginning.
and it also can be a motivating factor for you as well if you play this game. So first thing you need to do, and this is a hard thing for a lot of people but get a piece of software that will help you figure out what is your budget. What
Yes.
are your necessities?
Yes. And we have a great gal who could help with
and
budgeting
that's right,
as well.
that's right.
Tina Lilly.
Right. And so you figure out what is it that you absolutely have to maintain your lifestyle, and on a monthly basis. And once you figured that out, and and you can't procrastinate this, you got to do this yesterday.
Yes.
And so to move on with the formula is that let's just say that you need $5,000. That's going to take care of
Per month.
$5,000 per month. It can be any number. I can set this up in a spreadsheet for you that you just plug in your number. Put in your number and for example, and say it's $5,000. That's gonna keep me fed, keep me warm, keep my kids taken care of. And that's not savings or anything like that. I just need you to know, what you're going to give, what you need to spend to just keep food on the table, and keep the lights on and keep you dry. And
so $5,000. Write that down if you are writing down.
Right, and then divide that by 40% or 0.4, whichever one you're comfortable with. And when you do that, the number that you're going to get is $12,500. And so if you need $5,000 to live on,
yes,
you need to generate in sales $12,500 a month.
Or revenue, whatever it is, whatever it is you're doing. Yeah.
So if you're
$12,500, that's the
you're
number.
charging for your time, $12,500. So that means $5,000 is going out to lifestyle every month. $7,500 is going into savings.
Just a savings account.
A savings account.
Okay.
You're not trying to invest that.
Okay.
All right. Because you don't do it for the first 12 months.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
For the first 12 months, you put that $7,500 back away in a safe place. Try to forget it. It is an emergency fund if you need it. If something breaks down, if your car breaks down, and for you to keep in business and so forth. It's not to say, but if everything's running smooth, it's just pretend it's not there. So at the end of the year, you are going to have a gross amount set aside in savings of $90,000. Okay. So then comes tax time. You don't have to be afraid to do your taxes because you got money set aside, and so you're going to have to pay self-employment tax. Well, quick note coming out of W-2 to employed is that when you were W-2 and your employer was paying half of that for you, you paid the other half, and it was deducted out of your check. So you were used to not seeing it.
Right.
All right. Once you become employed, it's very hard to be disciplined to set that aside, and that's why we have the formula. So you pay your self-employment tax. That is going to feed your Social Security in the future.
Yes.
All right. And then you're going to need to pay your taxes off your income. Then you need to set aside money for retirement.
Well, my favorite part, Derek.
That's right. Because now every year you've got to set aside money for retirement. And this is going to force you to do that in a comfortable way.
Yes.
And
if they have the discipline of doing that every year, it just makes it easier.
It just makes it so much easier.
Because it's important to pay yourself, right, Dart?
That is right.
Yes.
So it's maintain your lifestyle and then a way to pay yourself. And then you will look at what does your business need, and invest for next year. But make sure that it's not, I'll give you an example of a bad advice is that a guy was blowing and going with a property and casualty agency and his business. There was a lot of business owners. There were truckers, and they all loved NASCAR. And so he was doing really well, and all his business owner friends, business owner clients loved to go to the NASCAR games, and they all had a $500,000 big RV.
Oh
And
my.
so he thought since he was doing so well that the best thing he should do was go buy a new $500,000 RV.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, there was a big turn down in the, and so all of a sudden now he's struggling because he spent $500,000 on a depreciating asset.
Yes.
So,
but sometimes people just
thinking that that's a big ROI for himself,
right.
when
But
there's
I
just-
also feel like even though that seemed like an extracurricular thing, some joy thing, but sometimes people buy things in business like, oh, I need a new piece of equipment without thinking about the cost or the return on the investment.
and tax preparers will say, oh, if you need something, go buy it.
Mhm.
But ask the question, slow down and ask the question, if I buy this, what is going to be the impact here? First off, what's my ROI? Do I really need it?
Return on investment.
Return on investment. Do I really need it? Is it going to impact my business more so than just, making me feel good? Is it really going to have an impact on this? And if it makes those other checks, then ask, okay, now what's the tax implications on this? All right. And how is it going? It just
or do I really need that new vehicle? Do I really need that new piece of equipment?
Is there a better way to do it to accomplish it? So things are lean, things are tough. I mean, it's hard, it's hard to make this, when you're thinking, because it's going to stretch you to think, oh, I'm making $12,500 a month, but that's what you need to do if you're,
Yes.
And then the last thing is, of course, is like getting yourself out of debt.
Yes.
And that's, getting yourself out of debt is first and foremost anything outside the cost of a mortgage, because mortgage interest is still tax deductible. It's okay to, it's very low. And so, if your time and money is being invested somewhere else, you're making money off the arbitrage. It's not a blanket statement. Okay. It has to be for everybody's benefit.
Right. And everyone's needs are different, but this is a general conversation.
That's right.
Yes.
And so, and of course, if your business is very complicated, then this is more so you can still have a similar formula, but if it's a matter of just, you're in sales or you're a consultant or you're getting paid for your time, this is a very easy formula for you to do. And the great thing is that if you track this every month, what am I doing? What have I got to do next month? Wow, I hit my 12,500 this month. Whew. Okay, how am I going to do it next month? How am I going to? Right. And it's just going, at the end of the day and at the end of the year, you're going to feel very confident about your business.
Yes.
And you can be relaxed.
Exactly. And it gives them a little bit of accountability. If they're watching their finances, they're checking in with this and it gives them give them goals to work for and shoot for and look at what's working, what's not working, going back and reevaluating, constantly reevaluating what you're doing.
Sometimes just people put their head down and they run hard. And I can tell you from whenever I was in business, a young age, I thought, well, if I just work harder, it's all going to come out. If I just worked harder, it would just all work out. But really, you need to look and see where the waste was.
Right. Working smarter, not harder.
Because, one of the things we overlook and we think, a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, a penny not spent is a penny earned.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
there you go.
So,
you know what? I was just thinking about another app that I really love.
Yeah.
It's called Calendly.
Yeah.
Calendly. So what that will do is it will keep track of your calendar, your activity. And if you just send out that Calendly link to your prospects or people want to have an appointment with you, that it links with your calendar. So you can go in there and designate the times that you want people to be able to work with you or schedule appointments, 8 to noon, 8 to 5, 8 to 8, whatever time that you want. Right. It also allows you to state in there how long you want an appointment. So like for me personally, I'll allow people to choose 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or even a 90-minute when we know it's going to be a long meeting, when it's a long review and initial documents and so forth. But it also allows you to put in there like time in between appointments. And I love that because like one day I met someone at a coffee shop in the morning, and that was 9:30 to 11 meeting, let's say. And then I had a meeting starting at 11, but it was a Zoom. So here I was outside of the office, and then I had to be in the office. And so I was like, oh, so anyway, go in there, give yourself a little bit of space, some time in between meetings in case a meeting runs over or doesn't. But I love it. When someone books an appointment with you, it'll go right on to your calendar, and then it will also send them an email or a text message the day before to remind them to come on and hey, here's your meeting.
Yeah, time is valuable. So
time is valuable.
You want people to show up for their calendar.
And I realize people don't miss their meetings now like they used to, and I do love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one other tip is that like a lot of people will call and I have a joke, they say, hey, are you staying busy? And I'll say, staying busy is not a problem. It's making money is the problem. Because this one right here she loves to keep me busy. And so, but seriously, and so there's a time to designate to working in your business. And it's great for you to either block out a half a day or all day for your, my job is either seeing new clients or servicing old clients, servicing my current clients. And then working on the business is a day where is for training, is for
back office work.
Cleaning up your office, whatever, making sure that all your emails and stuff are taken care of. And then there's vendors and things like that, and so kind of Fridays is our day to do that.
Time is money, Mike Waddell says. Yes, right. Time is money, Mike.
Time is money.
Good to see you on here.
And so there's a website called No Brown Days. And in short, whenever you put multiple colors together, you only end up with brown. And so what it does is say, okay, you have, your color for your activity of working on the business is one color. Your color for activity working in the business is a different color. And so you segment those out. And it's just a whole philosophy. It's a great website for you just to help you understand what the concept is.
Yes.
And measure it against what you're actually doing. And that's one of the things is be honest with yourself. Okay. And
that's hard sometimes. Yes.
Where you're spending your time.
Yes. And I love accountability groups, mastermind groups. I love those as well.
Absolutely. So,
but we could talk about this for multiple episodes, Dart. We're just barely scratching the surface here, but
I'm done.
Whatever. Dart is never done really talking. But we're so glad that y'all joined us on here, and we may chat about this some more.
Right.
And
we'd love to hear your feedback, or if you got questions.
Absolutely.
And so, because as I said, no one has ever just taken it and breaking it down like that for me. And but the more that I do this, the more successful it is.
Oh, and I'd like to have a retirement segment one time, like how a self-employed person could prepare for the retirement. I'll love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or anything else you want us to talk about, let us know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. Great to see y'all.
All
Happy
right.
Monday.
Blessings.
We'll see you soon. And I'll try to post more often because that's time.
Yes.
Bye, y'all. See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.